We are on our way to Strasbourg. At Kiel we cross the border into France and follow the instructions of our GPS across the city.
In 400 meters, turn right onto Route de Vienne and then turn left.
Finally, we reach Camping de Strasbourg, a campsite only a good 10 minutes away from the city center by car. Petite France is the lively tourist hub of the city, and our first destination after our rolling hotel room has been set up. This district, where we forget we're in a big city, welcomes us with cobblestone streets, canals, and Alsatian restaurants in well-preserved half-timbered houses. A terrace on the Wervoben, a covered bridge and the Weir, offer a magnificent panoramic view. The river hill is everywhere here. The district spans a river delta consisting of 5 arms. From an air perspective, they look like the fingers of a hand trying to grasp the entire city. The river is peaceful, and a boat trip is recommended to get a different perspective on the district. We stroll nicely along the quays and enjoy the beautiful weather and the reflections of the old houses in the water. Only across the castle square away from the cathedral rises Rouen Palace, completed 1742, one of the most important buildings of Strasbourg. Formerly a residence of cardinals, emperors and kings, it now houses the Archaeological Museum. We stroll through the neighborhood around Strasbourg Cathedral with its alleys and numerous stores. It is the landmark of the city, and it can be seen from almost everywhere in the city, providing a good orientation guide as long as the city is not really known to you. The interior of the cathedral also has many special features. The stained glass windows, mostly still original, from the 13th and 14th centuries. The astronomical clock from 1547 is a real highlight. It is a masterpiece of clockmaking and mathematics from the Renaissance and today still amazes with its technical sophistication and refinement. A real high-tech product of its time with a creepy effect when death strikes the bell and the cock crows. We took advantage of somewhat unsettled weather to stop by the European Parliament and take a look at the European institutions from the outside. The seriousness with which work is done inside, we felt at the outside. And in the European Parliament we attended for a while a meeting of a committee whose topics we found interesting, worth seeing, and worth reflecting on things that are not really vacation topics. St. Paul's Church towers above the roofs of the Neustadt. The buildings it towers over, however, are not as new as one might think, but date from the imperial era of the late 19th century, when Strasbourg was annexed by Prussia. We were fascinated by the municipal indoor swimming pool that is still in use today. museum of modern and contemporary art. Founded in 1973 and moved into its own building in November 1998, it is one of the largest of its kind in France. Tommy Honoré, himself a native of Strasbourg, got his museum here. As the first museum in France, this house is entirely dedicated to illustration drawing of the 20th century and the present. If you want to see and experience how earlier generations lived in and around Strasbourg, the Alsatian Museum is the right place for you. It's quite easy to find, as it's located on the banks of the Ile River, on the edge of Petite France.